Shalom, shalom. Keep us a sheep. Back with our weekly sit down through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shemal Rashai. Yeah, yes. Before we begin, first and foremost, like give all praise and all honor and all glory to the Most High. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalom, and Shalom to the hopeful elect.
Shalom.
All right, and as you can see, today's sit down will be Esau's files. Esau, the father of the Edomites. All right, and of course, again, this lesson is inspired through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shemal Rashai. All right, but just want to make reference to the Epstein. Lord, we don't flag this, but the other E files.
J.E.
Right. Yeah, J.E. Khan. The J.E. files. And even before the J.E. files came about, the Most High, all right, he already had files on Esau. All right, he has already recorded everything Esau has done. All right, from the time of slavery, from the time of the Native Americans, all right, which is known as Gad, amongst the 12 tribes of Israel. The Lord has kept a record, all right. So we don't need documents and files to be leaked to understand who the wicked is. We knew before the J.E. files was leaked who Esau was, all right. But now the world is realizing who Esau is, and he can't hide. Not only is the world recognizing him for the wicked, but they recognize him for his original birthright. Not birthright, but his original birth identity. All right, him being Esau Edom and not just the white man, or not just the Caucasian, or not just the president. All right, not just the world leaders, but he's being known as Esau Edom. All right, his birth identity. All right, what he goes back to. Got some?
Yeah, no, you go ahead.
Yeah, I got precept. What's up, precept?
Now I'm just gonna go into Genesis 3, that serpent curse.
I was going to say Thessalonians.
Yeah, I was there, but I knew you was gonna grab it.
It's good. All right, listen, man. You want to grab this first? Or you want?
Now you go ahead.
All right, con. I don't know if I can get straight to the point or start off with like verse 1 and 2.
We'll start off with son of perdition be revealed.
Son of perdition. Con. I start at verse 3. So this is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2. And verse 3, and it reads, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except they come and fall in their wayfarers, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So, so basically the destruction won't come till, they come and fall in the wayfarers, and that happened back during, the 70 AD, right? And when that happened, pretty much the beginning of the end, the beginning of the end of Israel in that land, they were pretty much ran out of there by the Romans, right? So let's continue on this little context. So verse 4, he said, I'll read it from the top. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3 say, let no man deceive you by any means, for that they shall not come, except they come and fall in the way first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So who is that man that's being revealed now? The son of perdition. Esau Edom, right? The so-called white man. Verse 4, say, who opposes him and exalted himself above all that is called the Heavenly Father, or that is worshipped, so that he, as the Heavenly Father, sit in the temple of the Heavenly Father, showing himself that he is the Heavenly Father, right? And that's showing you how speaking about Esau Edom, man, how powerful he is, he boastful, he feel like he the best of the best, the top of the top. He feel like he is the Most High, man, right? Through his technology, right? Through AI, right? Through his beliefs, right? Through his actions. He feel like he is the Most High, right? Let's continue on. Verse 5 said, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withhold him, that he might be revealed in his time. So now everyone is seeing that these damn devils are being revealed, right? Through the J.E. files, through how the president Trump is ruling so-called America. Well, Babylon the Great, right? Even himself is in the J.E. files. Right, so now people are starting to see that these are the true devils, these are the true wicked men that's the rulers of the earth, right? Job 9 and 24. What's that? Malachi 1 and 4. You got Malachi 1 and 4. I don't think it's one more.
Psalms 58.
Psalms 58. They strange for the womb, speak of lies. There's one more I'm thinking about too, but y'all get the point. So I'll finish off.
Another good point to say too. Also, the brother shots in the video. You watch the video of the elder Pastor Rumline doing the lesson. The guy, the elder Pastor Rumline, was saying how he really heard nobody else like going to the Hebrew understanding of Edom and how how Rothschilds that red shield thing is like. And one thing that hit me was how he was talking about how he's showing you how even, and I want to say that was the Edomite who was the class. One thing that hit what he said could have been Jay Khan, but he said it's showing you this hierarchy in this and basically this devil worshiping. Like he understands like it's elites above. Like he's basically saying how Esau goes back to Esau. You know what I'm saying? A Rothschild thing. So he's like it's showing you how it's a hierarchy and it's this devil satanic ring they got going on, which is ultimately American Native EU all this together. It's just basically how it all getting exposed.
That's on point. So
if you got some more,
yeah, I'm just finish off verse 8. So this verse 6, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 6 said, now ye know what withhold him, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. And then shall the wicked be revealed. Right? That's what we're seeing with our own 2 eyes. Right now, even the other nations, even Esau's own people are starting to see, right? He said, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, right? So Yahweh shall have to destroy these devils for their wickedness, right? For what they did to his brother Jacob, right? And many more reasons, man. And it's crazy. God did a lesson on Esau. These devils will soon pay. Last night, right? A little 30-minute lesson, and it was on Edomites. She went back into the history of slavery and all the things that they were doing to us, right? How where the term motherfucker came from and things of that such. How they used to make us, they used to have everybody come out to the field or whatever the case may be, right? They used to pick a slave out to go and fuck his mother, man, and that's how they got the term motherfucker, right? And there's many more things that they did to our people that the Lord is going to let. Or the Lord, but there's many things that they did to our people that it's going to happen to them 10 times worse, right? Because grab a quick precept real quick. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 25. In verse 14, right, and the reason I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, right? So you gotta know and understand that our anger and our wrath is nothing compared to the Heavenly Father anger. And he said that he angry with the wicked every day. You can read about that in the book of Psalms, right? So we think we reminisce now back on what they did during slavery and like, boy, shit, I can't wait till we get our hands on it. But that's the thing, the Lord will give us his anger when it's time for us to, do the things to them that they did to us severely, right? He says, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. And they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury. So we're going to be on Esau's ass 6 days out the week. The only day that we're not going to be on their ass is the 7 days. Just like one of the elders said, I forgot his name. But he said, even then, we're going to find a way to even get on their ass on the Sabbath. And if not, they still going to have nightmares to the things that we're going to do it to them, right? And he says, he said, they shall know my vengeance, said the Lord Yahweh, right? So now the people are starting to realize who the wicked are. They're being revealed at this time. People are starting to see that he's the son of perdition. That perdition goes into destruction. And also, he's the vessel to dishonor, right? Going into Romans 9 chapter. No, brother, God.
read the last verse back in 2 Thessalonians.
So this is the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8. And the reason then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
So just really beating the point about that wicked being revealed by Esau being understood more and more on who they truly are, and that being your so-called white man. I don't know if brother saw that Tucker Carlson interview he did over there in Israel. It was like a priest or a pastor or whatever you want to call him. But these are just ways that that the wicked are being revealed. Because if you watch that some of that interview, some of the questions he was asking is like, like why wouldn't you take a test to prove your children descendants of Abraham and so on and so forth. The small hatter was kind of like,
what they gonna prove?
Yeah, like what would we get? Like that wouldn't prove anything. He was like, but it would. Like it would prove if the land that y'all are claiming to be y'all's, it would truly be yours if you can prove that. But that was just examples of how that we can be revealed. But can somebody grab Nahum 3 and 5, and then somebody can grab Isaiah 47 and 3. This is 2 Ezra 6 and 18, right? It says, and it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh, and to visit them that dwell upon the earth, and will begin to make inquisition of them, what they have, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled, right? So he's doing what? He's coming to visit those who what? Dealt unrighteously, who completed works unjustly, and so on and so forth. Who was that? Esau, Edom. He's going to come visit Esau, Edom, right? Visit with what? Judgments, right? And the end of it said when the affliction of Zion be fulfilled, and that affliction of Zion has been happening for the last, hundreds of years. We've been over here in the land of our captivities for the last 400 or 500 years, probably really more than that, right? But so brothers gonna grab that because that's gonna go more into that second Thessalonians.
This is the book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 5, and it reads, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts. And I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame.
Man, so that goes about it being revealed. The nations are going to come against America, Babylon, Sodom, Egypt, whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever you want to call it. The nations are going to come against this place because the Lord is going to show their nakedness, being their shame, the man of perdition, right? The son of perdition, right? They're going to be revealed. We're not going to be able to hide, all the bullshit, all the weird things that they do, right? Because Esau, it's a weird nation. Edomites, they're weird. They like to do a lot of sadish things, like he was just saying, with things that they did back in slavery, right? They did a lot of weird shit to try to emasculate people, things like that, right? But all these things are constantly being revealed. But we'll let that other one read.
That's a good point too. Good point as well. As the brothers read 2 Thessalonians, we're gonna say, I just quoted, but Revelation 17 was going into going into America coming into play. And it talks about how America's going into perdition. And it tells you how Esau, Edom, with them being that wicked, the son of perdition. That's why in Jeremiah 49, it says, not only will Esau be made bare, he will uncover his secret place as well. So this is a place where for so long, they built this place up to hide, who they were. Like you saying, with them, going over there, like you think they do the Balfour Declaration or put people in the land, all the type of things. Those are all part of their plans to ultimately hide and make people seem like they're the chosen people, like they're the righteous people. And it all started with them coming over here to this place over here in America. And it all adds up to showing you how Most High speaks how the vengeance is going to come upon this place and why it's come, because the wicked. This is the America is that. And Jeremiah 49 also speak about how he would come up, Brandon, claiming amongst the Dan. The Dan was a city in Edom, right? But understand, this is part of the Edomite Empire. This is their capital right here in America. So their places being uncovered, just as well as they're being uncovered. Like even with these files that's coming out, it's showing you how these leaders are all playing a part in it. It's all lining up together to showing you exactly like what's really going on. For so long they done hid it, but now it's out in your face. Now you got no choice but to see it. Of course, certain people gonna turn their eyes from it. Was that 1 Corinthians 4, right? Because Satan, who's in charge of this world, the God of this world, was Esau, makes himself, as a brother read as well, he makes himself as a God, so people will run into him, look into him. His answers are what they really go by. That's why he put the answers he wants you to see out into the world. You search things up, you read books, they hide things in that, but they only want you to know what they want you to know, right? certain things that reveal it, they hide it and put it behind the scenes. You know, but all those things are now coming out, and ultimately when Yahweh Shah comes, he's gonna reveal all of it.
You just gotta think, man. With these JE files, even before that, you always see the church pastors being child molesters and all type of little crazy shit, man. These Edomites been having that spirit of Sodom and Gomorrah, man. That's why they have to be destroyed. But I'm gonna bring out this quick piece of real quick, just how we go to that Sunday edition, right? And being revealed. It's Isaiah 14 and 16. I'm gonna grab that Isaiah. So this Isaiah 14 and 16 says, "They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?" And how did they, make the earth to tremble and to shake kingdoms? Right? And why is the people not considering and looking upon thee? Why these the sons of perdition? What they just did in Venezuela. That's what they call it, right? Venezuela. Yeah, Venezuela, right? What they trying to do, and now they into it with Iran, right? Now they into it with Iran, Mexico, well, they were trying to take over Greenland, right? So now everybody's trying to see that these devils are showing their true colors. They're trying to see these damn devil horns, man, right? Now, I'm gonna grab that Isaiah 47 for the brother. In verse 3, and it reads, "Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yeah. Thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man."
So, like you just said, their nakedness is gonna be uncovered, right? They're gonna be stripped of all that pride and things that they have. I think you mentioned that earlier. Like they have pride. They think themselves to be like the Most High, like they can't be touched, or like it's impossible to come against them, right? And just on that note, this is Habakkuk 2 and 16. Right? It says, "Thou art filled with shameful glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory," right? So shameful spewing is going to be on Esau, Edom's glory, right? They have glory, like I said, they have a sense of pride, like they, because they think themselves to be the best of the best. When you see your typical patriot, your typical American, they got so much pride in this place. They flaunt it and they say, we got the best this, we got the best that, right? But all that quote unquote glory I have is, again, like the Lord said, it's gonna come to shame. It's gonna be his life.
I seen the chart on Twitter. I was really trying to find it. See, I meant to save it. It was a chart basically showing how the higher percentage of when the PDF files, mass shootings, school shootings, basically all those little crazy things that be happening, all of it was 50+ more percent of it was come from the white, so-called white race, so-called white man. You already know.
I had posted.
That's what it was. I thought I seen it on Twitter. So it's right here. Despite making up only 28% of the U.S. population, FBI data shows that white men are 55% of the kidnappers, 56% of the rapists, 58% of mass shooters, 59% of child porn, I gotta put it, arrests, 62% of statutory rapes, right? 63% of prostitution, right? 68% of 1934 NFA offenders, I don't know what that means. And this would kill me 75% of incest predators, right? So it's showing you how the wicked, that's who they are. That's in there. It goes back to that what is that? Deuteronomy 32. They got the vine of asp, the serpent. That's what their lineage is. That lineage is wicked, pure wickedness. But
even during the slave trade, during slavery, right? They had certain plantations where they used to take all the young black women, right? The young Israelite women, right, to these certain plantations just for them to break with them. So man, these devils have to, pay for the things that they did, and they trying to erase the history of it, but it'll never be erased, right? You can't. Hey, it's already set and done in stone, but the Lord know what happens. So therefore, y'all have to be dealt with. This the book of Zechariah chapter 2, and verse 8, and it reads, "For this said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you," meaning which destroyed you. He said, "For he that toucheth you touched the apple of his eye," right? And what these other nations did, especially Esau, Edom, right? They touched the Lord's apple of his eye, meaning when he touched the Lord's, precious people, his chosen people, his jewels, right? Something that the Lord cherished, right? So therefore, Esau Edom has to be destroyed for the thing that he did, right? And now that the people are starting to see that these men are actually wicked and they never been righteous to begin with, now people are starting to, get out of Christianity. Now people are starting to disbelieve everything that these devils are saying because why? Because these devils are being revealed, during this time.
So I was gonna go back to the point I was gonna bring out earlier, right? Just really going back into, as they being exposed, how how you say, how these other fowls being exposed, just showing these fowls of Esau, we've been know who he is because this is how he was identified in the earth when everybody knew who he was when he was trying to go out there, seals upon him when he tried to go out and deceive everybody. Now that now he's back revealed. For so long you had the word and the deception, right? You had the world deceived and tricked, and but now he's exposed and we know exactly who he is. We put these fowls been going out since the elders been teaching the truth in like 1970s. That's when these fowls started. These fowls been out, right? This goes back. I want to start here in Genesis 3 and 14, right? Because when you understand it, it goes back to that serpent in the garden, and it goes back to all the way back to that serpent in the garden, and Cain and Abel, things that said this perpetual hate, this thing they've been having, this been going on. Just Esau done, they didn't grew wiser, they grew smarter, and ultimately, how about Shah, for them to fulfill prophecy, he put the spirit on them to raise them up. Because at one point, like I mentioned, they was down as a people, but that's their original state. So we see them for who they really are. They got in the world deceiving people, telling everybody they this big, godly type person, whatever it is, but we know who they are, man, basis of man, right? So this Genesis 3, and I just get to the point in verse 14, right? It says, and the Lord Yahweh, right, and the Lord power said unto the serpent, right, which is that melted man with that evil spirit upon him, right? He said, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast, of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all days of thy life. So we understand, upon thy belly thou shalt go. That just mean they're gonna be in a low point. They'll be in a low stand. No, this same wicked spirit that was on this melted man right here came back through Cain. Right? Cain slew Abel, right? Did what he did, right? And Cain later wiped way through that flood. Get rid of wicked. And that same wicked spirit came out through Esau Edom, right? When you go to Genesis 25, right? That wicked spirit came through Esau Edom, and he came out red all over like a hairy garment. But also we understand his pigment was stripped, right? His pigment was stripped from, and this one you get the description of a so-called white man, in that point. In a sense, right? But so understanding that when it says upon thy belly thou shalt go, understanding from the beginning, that same spirit, that from the beginning, the Most High told them that belly mean they're gonna be in a low place, and dust represents confusion. They never been able to understand the knowledge, understanding how about outside the true knowledge, understanding. But they've been, the basis of men, low. That's that same curse that been upon them. The Most High raised them up to be where they are today, right? But as a brother mentioned, these fowls, we've been had these fowls on Esau. These things been out. We've been knowing who he was as a person. He's the basis of men. He out here in the world telling everybody he the chosen, this and that. But we know he's those saved cavemen who gonna go back to that standpoint when the time comes. Right? This is Job 30, and I started verse 1 actually. Right? It says now they that are younger than I have been derision. That younger goes into rank. How these people who are younger than us have us going through these hard times, go through this hardship, because ultimately we're above them. Our nation as a people above them. It says, whose fathers I would have disdain have set with the dogs of my flock. Yet whereunto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom the old age is perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing to the wilderness in former time desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men, right? And this is when you go into the time when they're down, right? When the Most High put them, when that curse was on them, right? Which they're gonna go back to that, but that curse is when that curse hit them, right? It says they cried after them, after the 3. It says to dwell in cliffs of the valleys and the caves of the earth and in the rocks. So this is Esau Edom, right? Among the bushes they bewrayed, under the needles they gathered together. They were the children of fools, You're the children of base men. They were valid in the earth. So when you go to that word base, that means low of the low, right? I mean low people, right? People who are no stature, nothing, right? So then you go to Daniel 4:17. Who did the Most High put in charge of the earth? So this is Daniel 4 in verse 17, right? It says, this matter is by decree of the watchers and demand of the word of the holy ones, which are the angels, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men and give it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the basis of men. So we know Esau was exposed. We know Esau, you were a low stat. You love low, man. You're nothing, right? You know the Most High put you in position that you in, right? So now that truth is coming out more and more. Now the world, like the brothers bringing out, the world's starting to see. Everybody's starting to see for who you really are. We've been had these files. This is how they started to see with Epstein. They've been searching and looking for him. Now we showing you. Now it's in front of your face. You know, now it's in front of your face. Now the world's starting to see. You know, with these files coming out, also with the way you carry yourself, the pride, the arrogancy, right? The whole world is seeing that. That's why they're gonna turn against his word. That's why they're gonna put their back against him.
Yeah. What you just read, Daniel?
Daniel 4:17. Just going into, I was just bringing the point of just going from the back of the, like just going back into it a little bit, how they the base of men, they've been cursed from the beginning, which is going to come all back upon them again. But now, you know, in that time, like you read, says 2 Thessalonians, right? You know, prophecy had to happen. The part of prophecy was them being exposed. They being the world, for the world to see who Esau really is, because he hit it. You know, he got it. He tricked everybody. You know.
I got 2 quick research.
Okay, you got it.
I'll read this real quick. Just going out the brother how it's going to, basically the world's going to reverse. It's going to come back on them again. All right, there was prophecy, right? You grab Genesis 25 real quick.
I'm starting around that.
You know what I'm talking about. The other side, certainly. That's what. So this, right? So this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 7. And it reads, "In the Lord Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh thy power, we put all these curses upon thy enemies, and on them that hate thee, is persecuted thee." So we're going to see who finally going to get the last laugh, being who? Israel, right? These curses that we put upon us are going to be put upon our enemies double, right? Tenfold, right? And all this is prophesied, right, to be the way that it is set up, right? So you can grab it and get it.
Genesis?
Genesis.
Okay, so this is Genesis 25, right? And I'll start at verse 22, right? It says, "And the children struggled within her," I'm talking about Rebecca, right? "And she said, If it be so, why am I this? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger."
You want to go to it?
Okay,
God, so how I said, man, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manners of people shall be separated from thy bowels, man, who Esau and Jacob, man, who so-called the white race and so-called black Native Americans and Hispanic race, right? You know, that all ties into one nation of Israel, right? So it says, and the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger, right? That's the point that I wanted, because who came out first, you can continue on. If you still in Genesis.
I was in Genesis 4. Back at verse 24, right? It says, "And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau."
So then in verse 23, then it is saying the elder shall serve the younger. So who came out first? Esau, Edom, right? And the elder haven't served us yet, right? So that's how you know this is a future prophecy to come on, right? Jeremiah 30 and 16, Isaiah 14 and 2, Revelation 13 and 10, right? So it's many precepts showing you how, you know, Ezekiel, 24 chapter, right? So there's many precepts showing you how these damn devils, right, are going to be our slaves in the kingdom of heaven that's soon to come, right? And like it speaks about the second age of the 6th chapter, verse 9, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow," right? Because that's why Jacob had hand held onto Esau hill is the way. It's a symbolic of Jacob, Israel pulling Esau down, you know, down to the ground, man. And you know, because ultimately your house is that top Israelite, man, coming from the tribe of Judah, right? But that's how, man.
Just to add on real quick, and see that's why these devils keep trying to escape Esau, Edom. That's why they keep trying to escape the identity, right? And you know, like it says, the elder shall serve the younger, meaning that Esau, Edom. Of course, we're gonna have all nations under captivity, but Esau, Edom, so our white man is gonna be like our top slave. All right, that's gonna be the slave that everybody that gets bought and sold the most. All right, those gonna be the ones that get the worst treatment in the kingdom of heaven, and that's what he trying to escape that. Right, if he can escape that, if he could be any other nation, he would rather be any other nation except for Esau, Edom. Brother mentioned earlier, that's why he established this land and allow all these people to come in. All right, and he go out and establish other lands. All right, taking on different identities. But like the scripture says in Genesis. Everywhere the devil go, he gonna be what? He gonna be a fugitive. He gonna be a vagabond.
Okay,
Kind
yeah. I'm gonna bring it out in the NLT, so I want to read. But I started at verse 9. Genesis 4:9 says, afterward, this is NLT. Afterward, the Lord Yahweh asked Cain, "Where is your brother? Where is Abel?" I don't know. Cain responded, "Am I my brother's guardian?" But the Lord Yahweh said, "What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground." And then you even see in a sense, so that's why it's Genesis 3, when you read, I want to say about verse 15, it says when it goes into the intimate, I'll put into in that womb. You understand this basically what we call this beef goes all the way back to Cain and Abel, man. Right? This beef goes all the way back to showing you, right? Right? So it says, now you are cursed and banished from the ground, which I swallowed up your brother's blood. No longer will the ground yield good crops for you, no matter how hard you work. From now on, you will be a homeless wanderer. Well, I read verse 12 in the NLT to point out, in case it means like it. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield until thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And to Cain, and Cain said unto the Lord Yahweh, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Right? It says, verse 14, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken upon him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. Right? So also you understand it. He that vagabond that fugitive in the earth, but the Most High put a mark upon him, man. Most High put a mark upon him to show who he was, to show who that wicked was. And we understand that mark goes to that leprosy where he's speaking with script from him, right? It's showing you who the wicked was, who we are, right? So now he exposed. Now he run around here. That's why they came over here and turned the white as so godly, man. Which we understand white mean pure, but not them, man. They picked with script from them. It was took for them because that's a mark put upon them so they can show. Because Cain was cursed, so that mark is put upon them so you can understand. But that's why they try to run from the fact of being Edomites. And they understand that mark is upon them. They exposed as a people. See, the ones who know it, they bring it out. But Esau Edom got the whole world in deception and confusion once again. Established in this place, came over this place, and they've been whitewashed everything going into the Renaissance, right? But after they pushed it out in the Renaissance, made it global. Now they took everybody by the chokehold and got everybody caught up in the seed in it. That's why you got Jake so dumbed down that Jake can't get out of it at this point. The only how about Yahshua can bring you out of deception that Esau, you don't got the whole world in.
And real quick, it's like as a fugitive, what does a fugitive do? Like when a fugitive want to run, they try to hide their identity, right? They cut their hair, they change their face, they whatever it may be, and just like how we are scattered amongst the nations, that's what Esau did to his seed. All right, he scattered his seed amongst the other nations. All right, because a lot of these nations they also go back to Esau Edom. Just as we got the 12 tribes, but you can't identify us because what we scattered amongst all nations. Same thing with Esau Edom, right?
Really, Esau Edom, they tried to be slick. They tried to hide in plain sight. That's why they changed the likenesses and the images of the true Israelites, the true prophets, the true people of the Lord, right? They tried to hide in plain sight, but again, they being revealed. Can one of y'all get that scripture that say, even though it may have a short time, but just really bouncing off of the brother Naham's points about how they really the basis of men. They're cursed people, right? They're people that has been brought low, and they even bounces off the precept that the brother Khan brought out referring to, you know, how I was gonna say, like these are people that shook kingdoms, you know, like there's no way that these people, the so-called white man, is the person that, you know, was a conqueror in this place. But, you know, going into that, Romans 9, and I really get straight to the point, verse 17, right? It says, for the scripture says unto Pharaoh, and, you know, that could also be in exchange for Esau, because this place is spiritually Egypt, right? It says, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth, right? So he raised up, you know, again, although they are the basis of men, Israel, you know, being wicked at a point in time, even to this day, right? He had to teach them a lesson, so he had to raise up this weak man, this man that should not be over them. He had to raise him up so that way he could show his power and, you know, put us back in our place. But the true elites, you know, those top 1%ers, though, they know these things. They know, you know, that it's not gonna last long. That they are the Edomites. That it's gonna end for them. So that's what I'm gonna do.
So this is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 12. And it reads, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth they have but a short time.
So, you know, Esau, even they have cracked down, you know, and it's gonna get even worse, especially in Jacob's trouble, right? When you get into the MOTB, FEMA camps, persecution, you know, thrown in jails, so on and so forth. I mean, you see ICE now. I mean, that's just a small sample size. That's not even, you know, like we ain't even gotten a martial law and all those types of things yet, right? It's, you know, again, these are small sample sizes. So, you know, as it ramps up, you know, you're gonna continue to see, you know, it's really the author's prophecy at the end of the day, you know.
That's why he'll never let nobody understand who they are, right? That's why he's still, you know, like I said, being that fugitive in the earth, they hide their identity. That's why they still our heritage and put it as something else, right? And then make us something else, right? Because once you really understand, like, when you think about it, like when these people, if everybody really just accepted or you know, just got put into their nest down like, hey, you this, you that, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, they would have to be put over there in the corner of the Edomites. So once you put them in the corner of the Edomite, then you get to reading, like, hold on, right? So the most High say the wicked are Edomite, right? So the whole time it shows the fact of who the wicked was, like we saying, but the fact of that's why Esau, they have to deceive and they have to keep what's going on, or that's why they gotta put that chip inside everybody, you know, to physically alter you and make you understand, make you look at them as a god. As brother said, they oppose everything they call God because they want to be the guys on the earth so they can control your mind, control your thoughts, control what you see, control what you hearing. They want to control all that. They want to have that control so where talks like truth, when the truth out, this don't hit how it should. Right? Oh, I mean, you tripping, talking about them. You know, like the dude, I'm gonna keep saying, like, dude on the video, at Apostle. So I did where I go, man, the prophets are the people who build the hospitals. They get Jake deceived like that because they want Jake to feel at rest with them. Ultimately, you know, their whole goal is to control everybody. Because the minute they control everybody, then they able to control your thoughts, your ways, what you talking about. Right? They can able to control what you thinking, control what you saying. All that. That's ultimately what they want to do in general, man. So they can, you know they got a short time. In this short time they have it, they come with that great wrath because they never want you to realize who we are as a people. Because once you realize who we are as a people, then you gonna realize who they are. And that's the whole objective of Esau, keeping everybody down, keeping everybody in that confused state, man. Ultimately, you know, it's how about outside as well, but as Esau, whole motive, man, since the Renaissance started, to deceive everybody, to trick everybody, so they can come back into power, they can keep the power. When they lost the power, when that seal was upon them, it was exposed. Everybody knew who they was. You can't. You got it.
Kind of just back you up. Because Revelation 12, I start at verse 9, it says, and that great dragon was cast out, the old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Mashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before the Most High day and night.
When you go to that great red dragon, you understand ultimately Esau Edom, but ultimately it's going into that Roman Empire. Then you go into that beast They don't EU, which is the Revived Empire, man. Which Esau, Edom, they all Edomites, right? But it goes back to them when they come out and that Renaissance coming to power and they pushing their whole narrative, pushing their whole way, pushing everything about themselves. It goes into that Revelation 13 and that daily wound was healed, right? The daily wound was healed, and they come out and deceive the whole earth. What it says in Revelation 20, when that seal was uplifted, they went out and went straight out to deceiving, right? Because that was the only way that they could get their power back into the earth, to tell you that you're not the Hebrews, like that we're the chosen people, right? Because ultimately understand that we had our land, we had our way. We knew a lot of people knew who we were, right? But ultimately we fell away, and lost our heritage. So ultimately prophecy coming into play. But Esau, Edom coming to that place to where they came out to see everybody and they went overboard with it. So now they want the whole earth to cling unto them, so they could be seen as a god. Because ultimately when you continue reading, if I'm not mistaken, that same chapter is wanting to gather everybody up to. I want to say it's verse 7. Actually, they want to gather everybody up for that war in heaven, man, to go against Yahweh. They don't want to lose. They don't want to lose their spot. They know, like the brothers mentioned, they know once they lose their spot, they know what they're going into. You know.
I got a quick piece of it, just a quick point that's going up for you, right? Because when everybody see how it's shining at you, what's the first instinct going to be? To run, right? Just like an insect. When they feel threatened, what does the insect do? They run, right? But the Lord will put the spirit on them to fight back, right? And ultimately they're gonna be destroyed. But Esau, Edom, they think they can just go hide in the bunkers and in the chamber, survive the nuclear missile and try to regenerate, populate. That's the word. The whole race.
That also goes to as Christian eyes say, they have thoughts that they also should see forever.
That quick piece is going out to Brother Nahum. In Psalms 50, and we quoted this earlier, said the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies, man. So it's going to how they came up, right? And as soon as that seal was lifted, what they do? We went out and deceived the whole world, right? Trying to say that the prophets are white, trying to say that the Lord the Savior is white, trying to change the name up, right? And all type of little just silly shit.
They did it successfully too. When you think about the state of Jacob, but Jacob leave, he going to a typical Baptist church, the typical whatever church you want to go into, they did it successfully, especially when you get into the slavery times. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, around the 1970s when he gave the spirit back to our business, on down, we were able to come back, and now again that they being revealed.
And Esau, they did that because why they know ultimately if they was to deceive us, right? You right at 2:30, right? They know they only had to deceive us because they know as long as the Lord chosen people are deceived, they gonna continue being ruled. So unless we wake up, guess what? That's the end of the Esau, right? Like it speaks about in Matthew the 24th chapter. I got it real quick. Just bear with me.
You're on this one first, but
I'm gonna grab this real quick.
and before you read the book 2, I'm gonna read this. Verse 13, then going to line up.
I got some Matthews too, but it's still all on here.
Yeah, you got. I was saying.
Alright, so this Matthew 24 and 14 saying, this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So they know as long as we deceive, they good, right? But now that this great awakening is going on, the truth is going out through the four corners of the earth. Guess what? The end is soon to come. Because why? The nation of Israel is waking up, right?
Another quick point as well. It goes into also Revelation 7:1. So that's why those 4 winds are being held back. You feel me? To that 144,000 is it's sealed. And once they're sealed, that's another thing you got to know too. Also on this side, Yahweh Shai is dealing with the elect. So once that number is sealed, then you gonna really see the things pop out how they what it was supposed to be. Because once they receive that, it's over. That's why you have them now. You see Esau, shutting down YouTube channels. You see them trying to deport Jake, but ultimately they can't stop it. They want to cause chaos and cause a lot of trouble going on to where people not paying attention to things this way. When you get on YouTube now, they want to search on what's going on with ICE, what's going on with this, what's going on with the war. They don't really hear too much about this true. They're not even saying the elect don't want to hear it, elect gonna hear it, but they're not really into finding out or searching for it as much no more. They want to search on this chaos that Esau's created. Because Esau good with deceiving. You know, Esau, Psalm 64, he good at hiding his secret matter. He good at making it out so nobody can find out what he got going on. You know, who?
Be a lot of shit going on behind the scenes, but what they want to do, they want to put out how Jay-Z just broke up with Beyonce and shit like that.
Yeah,
It's celebrity shit. You feel me? The shit to deceive the people, but
that's how you know, like, you know, whenever when you're looking in the world, you gotta think everything is a distraction, right? So when there's big news and with a celebrity or something like that, they really hiding something else. You know, they put out these stories that way, you know, you don't see the real shit going on behind the scenes.
And it stays, man. It's like the controversy of this is speaking of the controversy with the Super Bowl halftime. So they do little shit like that to put everybody eye on a certain narrative. Like you got the little fouls going on, they exposing everything. Then you got them forcing Michael Jackson all over through everything. Oh, Michael Jackson this, Michael Jackson that. He wasn't this person, right? Then you got then they want to drop a video where Obama saying it ain't no it's alien. Something, things that, like they create all these things so that Jake don't pay attention to what you're really supposed to know. They don't want you to see it. You know, like, once again, Psalm 64, man. They search out diligently that nobody can see, but nobody can know. But the ones who have their spiritual eye, they see it. It just all goes to Satan's devices, man.
the point that you had said just a minute ago, it made me bring out Amos 8:11, how it's gonna cost to be the family of the word, right? 'Cause they doing everything in their power.
I think the part when I said they setting out YouTube channels.
Oh yeah, kind. Cause they doing everything in their power to stop the word, right? To stop the gospel. Cause they know as long as we can continue to wake up, you gotta think the other nations know that we the Lord chosen people. The other nations know that we the Israelites. But who? The fucking Israelites, right? Our people, the only people that don't know that they the chosen people, right? They don't know the true names, none of that, man. But it's just gonna go into the family of the word, man. When things get to that full upscale.
I read this going back to that point. If we bring out Root 2 and 30, going to tell you how you had said when the spirit came into long as we down and deceive, that they're going to continue to deceive and push out, right? So this is Revelation 13. I started at 3 because I quoted earlier, but it said I saw one of his heads that was wounded. The Roman Empire fell, and his deadly wound was healed. The Renaissance they come back in the power, right? And all the world went after the beast. So that seal lifted up after them, and they come out deceiving everybody, right? It says they worship the dragon, which is Roman Empire, which gave the power to the beast. NATO, EU, America, all that play hand in hand. And it says that they worship the beast, saying, "Who's like unto the beast? Who's able to make war with him?" Because you see the power and the allure that America got over the whole world. I did listen on, I sent it to me on TikTok when he was talking about the little scrapes thing. I don't know the little celebrity name. Lucius from Empire.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. That's what I know.
Terrence.
Terrence. I just know. I'm so young, I just always call him Lucius, man. He was talking about the scrapes thing. His brother Kung War had sent it to me. I did a lesson on it. When I asked Chad about it, when you look, the only reason China, Iran, and Russia in it is to basically come together to stop America from having so much dominance. Right? That's a hell of objective, because who's like to the beast? Who can make war with him? Nobody can come up against America. America got that power. America's in that top seat of the rise of empire. Can't nobody come against us. So now that also goes to the prophecy of they shall hate the whore. Now they turn their back on her, right?
But you really think about it, America spends the most money on their military.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like that scripture Bashar read in Revelation 12 and 9. I talked about Satan with his angels meaning what? His armies, what I'm saying? This is military might, right? Because that's what they rely on.
And just to add on that, now they using even of course they got AI with social media. All right, they use social media as a war tactic, because if they can paint the narrative as them being again the innocent or them being the harmless, you know what I'm saying?
It goes like 9/11. You know how that, at 9/11 they, a lot of people say, not speaking too much, but they say it was staged, right?
Conspiracy.
Yeah, conspiracy. Like they basically got all the people to do that so they can go do what they want to do to Iran. Oh, they just bombed our country. They did this stuff. We gotta attack. We gotta react right now. Like, that's how America's Also, what was that? I think that's a precept. You know, I won't say it's a revelation, but it goes into that too. You know, they accuse our brethren before the Lord.
What you brought
And
up?
kind of brought it out. Kind of how they, I said, as soon as you come on TV, it's a bacon cheese hamburger all in front of you. You know,
Pepperoni
oh, they
pizza.
eat pork. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, the pepperoni pizza $5, but the cheese pizza
Cheese
10.
got down 10. Like,
You
that's how
gotta
they
think,
with the
God.
food.
the next, you know, the next world event, whatever it be, the next T attack, you know, who we gonna take the blame for it. All right, right now is you know, it's war with Mexico, it's war with Iran, but eventually it's gonna be war on the Hebrew Israelites.
Mhm.
All right, the BH.
And then how do you say this? I don't know, like, but I see a lot, but I be seeing a lot of, you know, y'all Black Americans, we stand up with y'all when something happen. Y'all ain't standing up with the Mexicans, things that's I've seen a lot of that. You know, that's part of coming. They want to try to cause that controversy, but within our nation, like try to make us, you know.
And these Mexicans, I ain't gonna say
I ain't gonna, Mexicans, they don't fuck with us.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't fuck with us.
Yeah, they don't.
Once you go to Florida, or they get on your
See, because these Mexicans think they a lot of them are Edomites, but they think they Esau.
Yeah.
They kiss Esau ass.
You try to think like Tina, see how a father gonna look at you.
Yeah.
They don't fuck
I
with
mean,
us.
that's
You should just TikTok you be like, you know, motherfucker.
They call you niggas now. Word, I got a homie, he just got a Mexican girl, she call him nigga.
Yeah. But you know, due to that head try anyway. So it's like, not saying that you know, with our people. I remember little Pastor Rumlot was going to say one day, like, you see how we is as a people, you know, the so-called black people. You know, we supposed to be that head tribe, really kind of set that example, and we so bugged out going off. But Esau, you don't know, put that narrative on us as YN, gangster, this and that. So now, you know, Esau word matters. So now, even our brothers, how y'all saying, they looking at us as
to be associated with us.
you
It's
feel
just
me?
like
They on their side with
They
it.
don't even want nothing to do with Jay.
They standing on that side of the fence like, nah, we not messing with y'all, man. You know, the white man said y'all this, the white man said y'all that, but hey, shame in the one who trusted Pharaoh, man.
Yeah,
Shame.
now they seeing how that shit feel like. Not ice on their ass, not Esau on their ass.
But that's how it go though.
Jacob's trouble.
Exactly.
Jacob's trouble. I was about to say the video. It's a video of a little girl. I think I sent it to the group chat. You know, she was like, her father was recording. She was like, if it ain't about race, then why they ain't deporting the white immigrants? Things that's because it's Jacob's trouble. It's a trouble for our whole nation as a people, right? Jacob's trouble, and that's why it says at last there's gonna be a day, nothing like this day. There's gonna be a trouble that they ain't never seen. Even all the times we went through 70 AD, all these destructions that came upon our land, our people, right? This day ain't gonna be none like it. It's gonna cause a lot of the Most High saying that though. This is not your rest. It's gonna cause you to a sort of destruction. It's gonna cause that. It's gonna hit home. But the ones who listen, just like in 70 AD, the ones who listen to Yahushua, they got out of there. What they're supposed to do, you know, the same way today. The ones who don't listen, hey, you know, once again, you know, shame to the ones who trusted in Pharaoh. You sat on that side of the fence and pointed the finger, did this and that, but the whole time they speaking to you with kind words. The whole time in their mouth, or in their heart is war, man. And as soon as you turn your back, they stab you in your back. They got you on the side to come against these people. That's that, you know, now they on you. Now you looking for these people to stand up with you. Ultimately, not saying, you know, of course we stand for the nation of Israel. Ultimately, the elect stand for the elect of the nation of Israel. But it's like, you know, we in that time of Jacob's trouble. You're gonna be confused and hurt by the time it's going on because you don't know what's going on. You're in a confused state. When you confused and hurt, that causes a lot of pain. It causes a lot of like, I don't know what's going on. That's why a lot of people tap out. You know, a lot of people. That's when suicide comes. That's what things that say that you too much on that. But that's why those things come into play with people's mind because they be confused, they be hurt, and they don't know what to do. But ultimately, guess what? We got the spirit power. We have by seeing how shot. So we know these things gonna come. You can't hurt a man who already know who has nothing. We know you have nothing. What did you fight for? You mad they sending you home? I mean, hey, send us home. Shit.
That's why wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability.
Yeah, we ready. We ready to go home, man. We ready. And that home, Africa is not our homeland, too. I'm going to say that. We not talking about. Yeah. Yeah, that's not our homeland. Okay, you got it. You're right.
This is John 8 and 41. No, I started 42. It says, and Yahushua said unto them, if God were your father, you would love me. For I proceeded forth and came from the Most High, neither came out of myself, but he sent me. why do you not understand my speech? Even because ye cannot hear my word, ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. God, you know, many people have become children of Edom. All right, many Israelites have become children of Edom, and it's proven by their works, man. Because again, they ready to agree with everything he say. All right, he say we monsters, they agree that we are monsters, right?
Read the book of First Maccabees, you know. Like when you get to the end of it, it tell you, you know, eventually, you know, the king at that time, the leader at that time, had gave Israel, you know, a license to do after, you know, the ordinances of the heathen, you know. And that's how Jake want to be. Jake want to be able to do whatever Esau Edom do, you know, whatever they say goes, you know. Especially, you know, in the order, like that's where that term coon, you know, that's what a coon is. You do whatever the white man says, or Uncle Russ is of the sound. You know what I'm saying?
But this is a precept right here, 2 Corinthians 4. I read it both in the KJV and the NLT. Right, I like verse 4 in the NLT. Right, but this I started verse 3. This is KJV first. It says, "But if our gospel be hid, it is hid some that are lost, in whom the power of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach Yahushua, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them." Right, this is NLT. It says, "As the good news was we preach is hidden behind the veil, it is hidden only from the people who are perishing." But most people understand it, they are condemned to that anyway. But it says, "Satan, who is the God of this world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe. They are unable to see the glorious light of the good news. They don't understand his message about the glory of Mashiach Yahushua, who's the exact likeness of Yahweh." So he telling them, how you don't know me when I come from the Father? You know, I come from the Father. I come to you not myself. I come for His will. As he also said it in John 5:30. You know, I come not of my own will, but of the will of the Father. You know, but Jake despised it because even back then, what they say? I think it's John 11. You know, what we gonna do? How you do too many blessings? The Romans gonna come up against us. They always want to please Esau. You know, they always want to please them. And we understand that the physical sons and daughters say they always want to go by what they say. They always care about how they feel about the people. Even when he spoke about the time of the Maccabees, they don't want to get circumcised. They don't want to do these things because it's not fit. It wasn't cool. You wasn't no real Greek if you didn't have those things. You know, Jake always fell in those ways of these nations. That was the point of us having lost commandments, not to follow those ways. But Jake always fell into the ways of those nations, and it always did what? Backfire on him. Jake still haven't understood the day. Now it's hitting home for him. You know, now it's hitting home for him with ICE and all these things. Now they looking for somebody to reach a hand out to help them up. But shoot, ultimately we are the nation of Israel as one. But hell, shit, we all done went through it. You know the history. Why you think they getting rid of black history? You know, who's to tell them the time to come? The Most High, Lord, if he allowed this place to go on more, they ain't gonna have no history of the time of ICE kicking out the Mexicans. They ain't gonna speak about that because this is the narrative. This is what Esau Edom do. He kills, steal, and destroy. That's what he do. He want his land. He want everybody under his control. Create chaos. Show everybody that he's in charge. Right? You know, now even they using this little cartel, whatever going on right now, they gonna use that as a big narrative. Oh, we gotta get them out of here. We gotta get these Mexicans out of here. They love all these things. It's all staged, man. They got it all set up how they want it to play out, man. Ultimately, so they can work their whole plan, New World Order. Hey, okay, if y'all want to stay over here, y'all know what y'all need to take. Come put it in your hand, you know.
Yeah, I had a quick question.
I was just gonna say because you know that time to come, you know, like you was mentioning earlier that Jacob's trouble that's gonna, you know, it was kind of like it was like that at the time with the Maccabees, right? But like you said, it wasn't cool to, you know, saying to do certain things, so they wanted to be like the Greeks, right? Whether it was because of persecution or not, you know, they didn't keep their faith, right? They ran away from it. For example, 2 Maccabees 6 and 5, right? It says the altar also was filled with profane things which the law forbiddeth. Neither was it lawful for any man to keep Sabbath days or ancient fasts or profess himself to be at all to be a Jew, right? So at that it was a point in time, at the time of the Maccabees, where again they didn't want to enter. They didn't want to have to, which related to these days, they didn't want to have to go without eating because so they're going to, because it's going to be the same spirits, right? So they're going to get the MOTB. They're going just comply with that new world order, right? Because they're not going to want to go through. It's going to be easier for them to be a Greek or be an American.
I got a piece of a quick point. You read that again? That it just hit me because that's ultimately showing in the time today. I remember the elder was Elder Pastor Rumlau was speaking on this a little. I can't think of the precept he brought out in Galatians going to this well, but how it ain't normal, it ain't of the norm today to teach the truth. Because when you come against the truth, we always say we speaking against the whole empire, we speaking against the whole kingdom of people. So speaking this truth, I mean, you ain't gonna be able to get up there and be up there on TV shows and NFL star, NBA. You ain't gonna be able to be at those parties, things like this. That's of the world. This truth, the bunks all that. This truth tells you that all that is full of wickedness, right? So even when you add it to the world today, ultimately we ain't just gotta walk around saying, we Hebrew Israelites that we ultimately when the time comes, the elect will be shown, will be revealed. You gotta play how you're supposed to play it. But like at the end of the day, this is why Jake don't want to be on the highways and byways. Just now when I was just telling you the account with when I was up there at the sauna, with Bubba, he dude was like, oh, can we pray for y'all? I'm like, don't disrespect to you, but nah, I'm good. Oh, bro, you can pray for it, because it's so. It ain't normal to reject Christian. It ain't normal to provide. You're not a Christian, bro. What are you doing, bro? Bro, you don't love God, bro. You're not a Christian. You don't go to church. Oh my goodness, bro. Ain't no way, bro. You're okay. I need to pray for you. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, like it's exactly like the precept you just read, bro. It ain't normal. Like it's crazy how they look at you, like you feel me, like they get on what it says, freedom of religion, freedom of speech. But if you not Christian or Muslim, right? Like as soon as you say you don't eat pork, oh, bro, you Muslim? Like, no, man, because that's the norm that Esau created. Goes back to that false prophet at Roman Catholic Church, man.
Just on that example right there, half of them don't even know that the scriptures tell you not to eat pork. Like you tell them, you tell them it said in the Bible, like where? I ain't never heard that. I ain't never seen that.
You necessarily got to read it, just the point where it kind of hit on that. But you like that's playing out more. That's playing out in today's time, like vividly. Like you can see that now. Like I say, oh, you ain't no Christian. Oh, things that's that. Oh, man, you need to be saved by JC, man. JC loves everybody, man. You can say that.
JC do.
You speak against that, you down there in a terrorist standpoint in today's time. You speak against Christianity, but label you down an atheist. Like,
Great Millstone is labeled as a terrorist group. A lot of the, I seen all the bills too.
But hey, that goes into the scripture. You're gonna be despised. Over there in Corinthians, we're gonna be despised. Man. Okay,
This Isaiah 60:2 said for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people, right? And they not only just gross darkness the people through their iniquity and wickedness, but also through the philosophies, right? Through the beliefs like the brothers was going into, right? They got everyone deceived, right? Through their smooth words, right? He said, but the Lord Yahweh shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee, meaning what? We delight out of this fucking darkness of this damn kingdom, man. Right? Because while we the ones that have Yahweh Shah, we the ones that have the knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Right? While everybody else is in darkness, and eyes that can't see and ears that can't hear, we the ones that got the eyes to see and the ears to hear. Right? But these damn devils, they done, gross darkness the whole earth, gross darkness the whole people, and now everyone's deceived.
Quick precept. This is Colossians 2. And 8, straight to the point. It says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahweh Shah, man. So, just a quick precept about another brother, man. It's full. This world is full of deception, man. We went into it a couple times with a couple different precepts, but
I got another couple of
precepts.
Can somebody grab that? You toss to and fro. But I'm gonna read this. Isaiah 29 and verse 9. It says, "Stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink." So we understand it. You know, they drunken off what? The philosophy. They drunken with the deceit. They drunken with the way. They drunken with the religion of this world, man. It got them fooled. It got them lost. You know, as you're gonna see, they got them tossed to and fro. You know?
Talking about that Job 1 and 7.
What is?
From going to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down it. I don't think it's not. I don't know. It's a goat.
Ephesians 4:14.
I was just gonna say that. It's a precept of that, Isaiah 24 and 22.
I got it. I read it. Right. So it's Ephesians 4:14. It says that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie and wait to deceive. And it also goes to the point I was going to bring out, which we can get back into. You know, we was going to read Luke 2 and 30. You know, and as I was going to read Romans 13 and 5. You know how that they had their power for what that time period. Really, the time period going from what was it, 1619 from 1970, or from the time of coming. We was tossed to and fro, but now we not drunken off that philosophy that ways no more, because our knowledge and understanding is back into us. We have our ways now. We have our knowledge and understanding now, which Luke 2 and 30 goes into.
I can still read this precept. Can you read that first one that you brought up?
Isaiah 29.
Yeah.
Isaiah 29. Stagger not by strong drink. Isaiah 29 and verse 9. It says, "Stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink."
They're drunken, but not with wine. But that really just made me think of, because they're drunken with what? The wisdom of this world, so on and so forth. The same thing that Adam and Eve went off with in the garden, following after the ways and so on and so forth. So because they're drunken with that wine, now they got to drink of that cup of judgment. So they don't have a choice, right? You want to drink Esau Edom's cup, now you got to drink the Lord's cup, right? So this is Jeremiah 49:12, right? "For thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have surely drunken. And art thou that he shall go altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it." Right. So since you wanted to go be you wanted to go be drunk with Esau, Edom, their philosophies, their ways of life, their drunkenness. Now you got to come to Yahushua, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and drink his medicine. Drink his judgment to get purified, to get clean.
Quick research you got.
I was about to say, in that latter part where it says, the latter part of the precept where it says, so they all together not going punished, and going into Esau Edom, how they gonna have to with Revelation 14, how they gonna be it's gonna be fill the cup double for them. They gonna have to shoot drinking their cup. The cup be filled double to them for all the weakness they got going on. But Jake was never supposed to get drunken off these things, because Most High gave us the path, not even bump into them. But,
read that verse again.
Jeremiah 49:12, it says, "For thus saith the Lord, behold, days whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou that he shall go altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it."
I brought this out because of a point you made about what's the point you made? What you said up there?
I was basically saying,
Basically like the wisdom of Israel. So this 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 18 said, "Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seem to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the heavenly Father. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness." So you have to know and understand, man, the foolishness of this, the wisdom of this world is straight foolishness, man. It's nothing compared to the knowledge, understanding, and wisdom that we have, right? It's like counterfeit money, right? They don't got the true riches, man. We got it.
But we got a precept. I'm gonna go back to that Romans. I'm gonna finish Romans 13 and verse 5. Back to the point to what you said about how they was able back again how Esau, Edom, they had everybody deceived and tricked. Going back even the title of the hand, they got everybody deceived and tricked. But ultimately, starting back with the spirit that comes to Edomites, the spouse has been released on them. Now we're able to see and understand who they are as people. Now they've been exposed to who they are. That's why Revelation 13. I broke down 3 and 4, verse 5, it says, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, right? That goes into that deceivableness, man. That tricking, that deceiving, them blaspheming the name of Yahweh Shah, calling them JC, the whitewashing everything, chipping the nose off the stage, all type of things they were doing, man. Tricking everybody into telling them that they the chosen people, all these things, right? And it says the great power was given, even confusing us. We go back to the time of slavery, even confusing us, telling us that JC love everybody. We all gonna go to the same heaven after they whoop you for a whole damn day. You going back and praying to the God, thinking that we all finna be at peace one day. They even had Jake caught up and lost, right? But it says the power was given unto him to continue 42 months, right? And that goes into the time, what is that, 350 years for 1619 to 1970, right? And then when you understand it, right, we go into now we in the land of our captives, which you got the root too. Now you understand they had that time deceiving us. It had that time, and the power was given unto him, unto him a mouth speaking great things, blasphemies, and the power was given unto him to continue 42 months. So they had that time with them deceiving us, tricking us, until now we have the truth. And it also goes into I want to say. Oh yeah, I just read Ephesians 4 talk. We no more toss to and fro. Also the precept the brothers are bringing out as well. Now we woken up. Now you can't deceive us and trick us because now the spirit of Yahweh Shah is upon us to remind us who we are.
So this is Baruch 2:30. It says, "For I knew that they would not hear me because as a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves."
So in the land of our captivities, now we return back to who we are. The land of our captivity. Now we seeing. So now the files is out. Boom. Like now he's landing out on the table. Like hold on, how they putting it all out on the social media. But we on the YouTube, how it's about doing live lessons. We showing you, hey, these are the wicked and these are the chosen ones who are gonna be saved. Like we showing now the files out on Esau. Now you went out and told everybody, that's your land. That's your homeland. Nah, that's all that's been exposed, man. All that's been exposed. Appointed the land of Yahweh outside Israel, ultimately our land to yourselves. Now it's going to be a judgment behind it that's going to come upon you. As we mentioned earlier as well, that's why you don't want to be who you are, because you know what you're going to be. You're a vagabond, man. You're a fugitive. You're a fugitive of justice as well. Fugitive of judgment. You're running from judgment, which you can't run from judgment, man. It's going to come upon everybody, man.
All right. Lord willing, this is down was edifying. Again, until next time, we'll let it close out by giving our praise, our honor, and our glory to the Most High.
Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah Ba'ashem Kakadash.
Double honor to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Shalom and shalom to the
Shalom, shalom, shalom.